Top 15 current rumors WWE doesn't want their fans to know.
If you are brand new to our channel, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Just click on the lit red button as well as the gray bell. Why the bell? Well, it will let you know every time we post a new video.
15.
Emma being buried for her comments on social media. Emma has never really been given a chance on WWE's main roster, and it seems to stem back to the time when her Emelina character failed earlier this year. Emma has tried to push past it, and this new social media-obsessed star did seem as though she could be worth a push in the Raw Women's division, until WWE fed her to Asuka twice in 2 days. WWE has created Emma's new character as a joke, and even though she is begging for a chance and asking the WWE Universe to get behind her and #online, the company is never going to. It's sad because she is one of the more promising women in the division right now, but after her back-to-back losses to the Empress of Tomorrow, it seems that there isn't anywhere left for Emma to go now other than up.
14.
WWE has already given up on Lana. WWE made the decision to take Lana away from Rusev, and instead allow her to wrestle in her own right on WWE TV a few months ago. After a few matches against Naomi back at Money in the Bank, and on the SmackDown that followed, the company has seen all they need to from the ravishing Russian. It is being reported that there is a reason why Lana is no longer wrestling on WWE TV, and has instead been pushed into being a valet for Tamina. On SmackDown Live this past week, Lana was singled out as the only female on the roster that isn't being used as part of the SmackDown vs. Raw Women's match at Survivor Series next month. The reason behind this is said to be because the company has already given up on her as an in-ring talent, and instead would rather focus on her as a valet for Tamina, who obviously has problems speaking for herself.
13.
Sasha Banks' attitude is holding her back. Sasha Banks wasn't scheduled to be part of SummerSlam this year until she was brought in to replace Bayley, when her best friend suffered a shoulder injury in a match against Nia Jax a few weeks prior to the event. Banks won the championship at SummerSlam only to drop it back to Alexa Bliss a few weeks later, and WWE focused on the fact that Sasha had never been able to successfully defend the championship. Sasha made comments about Alexa Bliss on Raw Talk a few months ago, and it seems that she is being punished for this. Corey Graves noted on an episode of Bring It to the Table that Sasha's comments regarding Alexa backstage and her attitude as a whole were some of the reasons why the company was allowing her to sit in the mid-card with nothing to do moving forward, while other women challenged for the women's championship in her place. 12. Bayley is gaining heat in WWE right now. Bayley hasn't been used effectively on the main roster over the past few months, ever since she was injured in her match against Nia Jax in the build-up to SummerSlam. It seems that the company isn't happy with Bayley on the main roster, because she doesn't seem to be connecting well with the WWE Universe. Bayley's feud with Alexa Bliss earlier this year was deemed a failure, and contained one of the worst segments that Monday Night Raw had ever seen. Bayley hasn't technically done anything wrong, but WWE thought the audience would react differently to her on the main roster. The fact that the fans haven't reacted well to her means that WWE doesn't have a lot of options left for her except turning her heel, something that was said to have been the last resort. However, the company is now coming to terms that this might be the only way to save her.
11.
John Cena could be set for Road to WrestleMania return. John Cena left WWE following this year's No Mercy, where he was defeated by Roman Reigns. Cena has a number of other commitments outside of WWE now, and it seems that even though this time of year WWE's ratings are down, and they would be in need of someone like Cena in the build-up to Survivor Series, the 16-time world champion won't be back until next year. WWE doesn't need help with their ratings in the build-up to WrestleMania since it is their biggest show of the year, but Cena will be coming back to the company as part of the Royal Rumble next year, so that he can be part of WrestleMania once again. WWE doesn't need more stars returning to WWE for a WrestleMania appearance. That's what Triple H is for. Cena would be better used if he could return in a few weeks for the Survivor Series event instead.
10.
10. Jinder Mahal set for Indian Tour as champion. Jinder Mahal's reign as WWE champion over the past few months has definitely gained a mixed reaction from the WWE universe, but it seems that despite their fanbase not being completely behind Jinder as champion, WWE is not willing to dethrone him just yet. The company goes on tour in India in December and WWE wants Jinder to be returning to his home country as the champion, so that they have a unique promotional angle for their tour. Clash of Champions is on December 17th, and as yet it is unknown who will be facing Jinder at the event, but it seems that this could be the earliest that Jinder will be able to drop the title. There are also other reports that suggest that Jinder could be holding the title through into 2018, where he will be a main part of SmackDown Live's build-up to WrestleMania 34.
9.
9. Dolph Ziggler set to walk away from the company. One of the saddest reports to come out of WWE recently is the fact that Dolph Ziggler has reached the point where he is ready to walk away from the company. Dolph has been a part of WWE for more than a decade. He is a former Mr. Money in the Bank and a former world champion, but it seems that Dolph is no longer happy working for WWE. Dolph Ziggler has recently unveiled his new gimmick, and is using that in his feud with Bobby Roode. Ziggler is able to make any superstar look good, so he was the logical person to put in a feud with Roode. Dolph's contract is said to run out at some point this month, and he has a 2 out of 3 falls match against Roode next week, so it could be interesting to see if these reports are true, and if the show-off is set to walk away from WWE for good in the coming weeks.
8.
8. Roman Reigns still set for huge WrestleMania push. It was reported almost a year ago now that Roman Reigns was set to face Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania 34 with the Universal Championship on the line. It was thought that these plans had changed over the past few months and WWE may have decided to go with a different idea for the main event of WrestleMania instead. Reigns has recently reunited with The Shield, but this reunion isn't expected to last very long, since WWE still has plans for Roman Reigns to be the only member of WWE's current roster that is able to defeat Brock Lesnar. The duo fought it out back at WrestleMania 31 before Seth Rollins interrupted the match and stole the title. It was rumored back then that Reigns and Lesnar would collide once again, and there would finally be a winner, but the WWE Universe collectively hoped that WWE had changed their mind.
7.
7. Batista set to headline Hall of Fame 2018 class. Batista is a former world champion in WWE, but that doesn't mean that he's well liked by the WWE Universe. Batista's personal life, especially the fact that he cheated on his wife and forced a divorce when she was struggling with cancer, made many of his fans turn against him. Batista's return back in 2014 didn't help matters either, since he returned to WWE with the promise that he would become world champion at WrestleMania 30, but when the WWE Universe opted to back Daniel Bryan over the Animal, WWE went back on their word and didn't give him the title. Batista found out that there were no plans for him to have the title in the future, so he walked away from the company and left them in the middle of a storyline. Batista has since been quite successful in the acting world, but the WWE Universe will not be happy with the reports that suggest that he will be headlining next year's Hall of Fame ceremony.
6.
6. Dean Ambrose set to end Shield reunion. This is an odd rumor, but it is perhaps one that the WWE Universe has seen coming for a long time. Finally, more than 3 years after the Shield split up back in June 2014, the trio is back together on WWE TV, and could play a huge part in Survivor Series when it comes to helping Raw to victory. Following Survivor Series, WWE doesn't have a lot of plans for the Hounds of Justice moving forward, which has led to many fans making the assumption that the three will go their separate ways once again. However, because Roman is set to begin the build-up to his match with Brock Lesnar, it seems that the Raw Tag Team Champions could be set to implode. Dean Ambrose has been due revenge for the past few years, and if reports are to be believed, Ambrose will finally get revenge on Seth Rollins in the coming months.
5.
5. Kurt Angle vs. Shane McMahon. Kurt Angle returned to WWE in an authoritative role as the general manager of Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania this year, when he stepped into Mick Foley's vacant shoes. Angle was the shocking last-minute replacement for Roman Reigns at TLC, when he wasn't medically cleared to compete, and now it seems that WWE could be prepared to give the former world champion another match. The seeds have been planted for a feud between Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle over the past few weeks, and we could see the duo becoming a part of Survivor Series. However, rather than the duo going one-on-one, WWE could make the decision to have their general managers as team captains at the event next month. McMahon has recently just jumped off Hell in a Cell, while Angle was hit and misses to whether or not he would be cleared, so it's a shock that WWE wants to add these two stars to a match to begin with.
4.
4. WWE are still refusing to let Daniel Bryan wrestle. Kurt Angle was cleared to wrestle for the TLC event last weekend, but despite WWE allowing Angle to wrestle with all of his physical problems, they are still no closer to clearing Daniel Bryan to compete. Bryan was cleared by other doctors back in 2016, but not by WWE's official doctors, which is the reason why he has become general manager of SmackDown Live instead. WWE's wife Brie Bella has been training with her husband before her return to the ring, and it seems that the company has blocked the video from being released because it shows Bryan taking bumps in the ring, and the company are not ready to show him being active in the ring, since they still are not ready to clear him for action. Bryan has even hinted that he could make a return to the independent scene in the future, so that he can return to the ring.
3.
3. Aleister Black being promoted to 205 Live. Aleister Black has become quite a popular superstar on the NXT roster over the past few months, and is still undefeated, even though he is now part of a feud with Patrick Clark. Black has been one of the standout stars of the brand ever since his arrival, but it seems that WWE plans for Black to join the 205 Live division in the near future. The Cruiserweight division has been given a boost with the arrival of Enzo Amore and Kalisto over the past few weeks. The 205 Live is still in need of some new faces, and Black could be the boost that the brand is looking for. The WWE Universe won't be happy with the fact that Black isn't being put on the main roster and given a chance with WWE's biggest star. Hopefully, this is a rumor that could change in the future.
2.
2. Nia Jax is not happy with her position in the company. One of the most recent rumors that have been circulating around WWE is the fact that Nia Jax is currently on a leave of absence from the company, an absence that she requested because she is said to be unhappy with her current position on the Raw roster. Nia apparently found out that she was booked on a TLC card against Sasha Banks and was supposed to lose clean to the boss on the kickoff show. Nia wasn't happy with this decision, especially since she has lost to Sasha a number of times over the past few months, with her also being forced to submit at one point. Nia phoned her cousin The Rock and asked his advice, and he apparently told her that if she wasn't happy with her current position, then she should walk away. Nia took his advice and hasn't been seen on screen ever since, so her future with WWE is now currently unknown.
1.
1. Neville had been unhappy for a number of months. Another WWE star who is said to be unhappy in the company right now is former Cruiserweight champion Neville. The British star was said to have been disappointed with the fact that he didn't receive a paycheck when WrestleMania 33 came out on DVD, since he and Austin Aries were on the kickoff show and performed to a half-empty arena in daylight, which could not have been much of a confidence boost for the former NXT champion. Neville was never part of the main event picture as Cruiserweight champion, and the way he lost his championship to Neville was shocking, and his rematch clause was then taken away from him. Neville hasn't been given a lot to work with in WWE over the past few months, so the rumors about him walking out of WWE could be true. He would be well within his rights to walk out if he was as unhappy as speculation suggests.
Yeah.